Hello guys, it's been like a year since I did one of this weightlifting training recaps, and ironically in my last video last year I said I was gonna do it in smaller bits, and I was gonna do it more frequently, but unfortunately life happened to me and I just lost motivation to do it. I feel like even though I have like less than 300 subscribers, I feel like I owe it to you guys to explain, but I'm not gonna explain too much. And also I felt like I should at least do a quick recap of my last weightlifting competition, which happened last year, which is what the main thing is gonna be for this video. But before that, I'm just gonna explain what's been going on with me. So yeah, life happened, and then but fortunately I'm still able to continue training somewhat, more bodybuilding this year, trying to get more, back in shape, and trying to maintain muscle more now that I'm getting like a lot older. I'm joining the big 4-0 next year, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this is my final year in the M35 Masters category, but unfortunately there isn't any big competitions in Malaysia for weightlifting this year. There aren't any like weight classes for the Masters category in any competition, as far as I know at least. So yeah, so I'm just gonna join the same one, organized by Vanguard this year, just like the last 2 years. It's happening in November, mid of November, and I'm currently training. I'm 10 weeks out from now. No coaches, probably no handlers again. I have no idea how to get them. See, when you train alone all the time at a commercial gym like me, and only attended 2 classes at 2 different gyms in this whole year, and in these recent weeks, you're not gonna get a lot of friends in the weightlifting community to be close enough to you to want to offer to help to be your handler or coach, because you're not patronizing them enough. That's not a good way of saying it, but I think that's how it's supposed to be. But we'll see if anyone is gonna offer this poor soul some help at the competition. But yeah, either way, I'm pretty much accepted the fact that I'll probably go without a coach or a handler again, which is fine. I'm not a professional. I'm competing in an amateur competition anyway, so it's just all for fun. Yeah, to still be able to hit PRs and be quite, actually was injury free this whole year, but also because I've been doing more bodybuilding stuff at this age, and to look fit, maybe this is more than enough, for me. And I'm healthy, I'm fit, and weightlifting is fun enough for me to keep going, and I'm just gonna keep going until my body can't take it, and my joints can't take it anymore, and just have to be very disciplined with how I strictly follow my own programs. Anyway, enough babbling. Let's have a look at my competition lifts. So yeah, going to this, I was actually let me try to remember what happened last year coming up to this competition. I think I was feeling weak. I was the weakest I've ever felt. I wasn't hitting the squats that I was hitting from the previous training, from the previous competition prep. But I think it's okay. I wasn't expecting much, but of course I was hoping that I'm gonna hit some PRs. I always do, but yet again I got called for press out, 3 times in total, and I'm just like, I'm trying to fix that. Hopefully in the coming competition I won't get called for press out at all. But anyway, let's just so I wasn't feeling strong, at least, and technically I was pretty bad because I've stopped attending classes at this point. I got no one to look at my lifts, and yeah, and although I hit my first snatch, you can tell that it's actually very iffy. I could have easily failed that. But speaking of which, the warm-ups of this like amateur, smaller competitions, the warm-up area is always going to be chaotic, and without a coach or the handler, it's even more chaotic because I had to go find a bar, I had to go find a platform I could use, and then I have to time my warm-ups myself. I have to go look for the plates and weights on my own. I have to load them, unload them, load them, unload them, all on my own. Thankfully, I did not bomb out, spoiler alert, but you should already know by now if you've seen my story or short or reel. Yeah, and then I went from 75 kg, I hit that, you know, that was very shaky, and then decided to, what the hell, just go for 80, and at that time it was still, I think it was still my PR, I can't remember, but I remember hitting a new PR, 82.5, but I went for 80 in hopes that if I make it, I'll probably go for 85. Unfortunately, I missed the 80, and then I pressed out quite obviously for the third attempt at 80 again. Then for the clean and jerk, I did well with all things considered, because I screwed up my warm-ups. You know, my last warm-up was like 90, and then I waited for like 15 minutes before it was my first attempt. And you know, that's what you get when you don't have a coach or a handler. And I thought I was conserving strength, but maybe I was, and yet, you know, I got called press out in my first attempt, and then second attempt, not sure what they called me out for, but it was still a no lift. And then I made the third attempt, which was quite epic, because if I didn't, I would have bombed out. And then I was really like shaking my head. I was like, holy shit, there's no way I'm gonna be called, you know, press outs for all three of my attempts. And of course my confidence was really low, and I just couldn't hide it as I was walking out to the platform, and then the crowd was just cheering for me. And you know, the community is awesome. They cheer for you whether they know you or not, competitors or not, and I felt it, you know, and that really gave me an extra energy, extra boost, and I hit it, and I did a jump of excitement, pumping my fists, and yeah, to the point I forgot to bow to thank the crowd, and yeah, I turned back, and then I bowed. And it was my worst performance in terms of my total, but it is what it is. At least I didn't bomb out. You know, I learned my lesson in terms of not just the competition itself, the warm-ups and technique wise, but also the training. My training didn't go well, and I kind of know why now, and could be largely due to age, and I just cannot handle high percentages and high volumes like I am supposed to be able to if I started weightlifting a lot younger, but I started at 35, and I'm 39 this year, and I never really had, you know, a coach longer than a few months, and then the occasional classes years after that. But anyway, that's about it. I am now 10 weeks out from my one and only competition this year, by Vanguard in PJ, happening in the mid of November. And I do hope this time I do better than last year, and hopefully do better than my first ever competition, which somehow is my first ever competition is still my best performance. Sadly, I'm not getting any younger, and that's about it. See you guys next time, and hopefully I'll have the time and motivation to do a recap on, you know, this coming competition that I'll be in, and see you guys there. Ta-ta.